What's up, guys? I'm Josh and I lift things, and I'm here to talk about water. How much you need. 8 glasses a day, bozo. 1 ounce for every centimeter you are tall, nerd. Does Dr. Pepper count as water? So the amount of water that you need is a very commonly asked question, and the short and simple answer is drink when you're thirsty. To explain this a bit more, let me first explain why some pretty round number like 8 glasses a day doesn't make much sense. We are not the same weight. We are not the same height. We do not have the same body fat percentage. We do not have the same amount of lean mass. We don't have the same genetic predispositions. We don't live similar lifestyles. We don't eat similar foods. We don't eat the same amount of sodium or potassium. We don't live in similar climates. We don't live at similar altitudes, and plenty more. The idea that this amount is good for everyone is similar to the problem with RDAs, and you can watch my video on that by clicking the link in the top right hand corner of the screen. We don't have the same protein requirements or calorie requirements, so why would we have the same water requirements? But before we go any further, let's talk about what dehydration does to an athlete. So besides performance, just in general health terms, we can see from this meta-analysis that each additional cup of total water intake per day was associated with a 3% lower risk of death from cardiovascular disease. But however, we see that total water intake was not associated at all with all-cause mortality. This makes sense. More water means a lower blood pressure, means easier for your heart. But we can see here from this study, and many other have reported similar findings, that 2% total loss in hydration impairs endurance exercise performance mediated by body water volume loss. According to this homie, hypohydration appears to consistently attenuate strength by approximately 20%, power by 3%, and high-intensity endurance by 10%. According to a meta-analysis by this homie, hypohydration caused muscle strength to fall by 5.5 plus or minus 1%, and anaerobic power fell 5.8 plus or minus 2.3%. What this basically means is with just a 2% loss of hydration, your performance is impacted heavily. Now, at this point, we would bring up electrolytes like sodium, potassium, but I think that's best left for another video. And just remember that the more that you intake, the more you should increase your water. Now, obviously, if you work a manual labor job, especially outdoors in the heat, you're going to require more water. If you are pregnant or breastfeeding, you require more water. If you train hard many days of the week, you require more water. But by how much? Well, what you really want to do is offset the amount of fluids lost through sweating with equal water intake. From this study here, we can see that water loss from cutaneous evaporation could range from 50 milliliters per day at rest in a cool environment to 10 liters per day during exercise in the heat. In some patients with diarrhea, it's possible to lose 32 liters per day. Obligatory urine volume is limited by the concentrating power of the kidneys, but it can vary from 250 to 1400 milliliters per day depending on the diet, with urine volume typically being 700 milliliters per day, but a high protein diet demands more obligatory water to excrete the osmotically active products of protein metabolism. Now, this study was specifically done to talk about soldiers in Iraq, so obviously they have a very different water requirement than you do just working out a couple times a week. But I think it goes to show that you can lose far more fluids than you may actually think that you do. So if on the extreme end you can lose up to 3 to 4 liters per hour, it's probably safe to say that during an average training day in the gym, you could lose, potentially up to a liter of water. So that is what I try to drink throughout my workout. Is this too much? Maybe, but it's not really an issue. But to shift back for the rest of the day and just drinking the thirst, we can see from this study that given predicted fluid requirements for differing exercise durations, intensities, environments, and body sizes, it would appear that conditions exist where ad libitum, lobotomy, drink to thirst fluid intake will be sufficient to meet needs, i.e. maintenance of fluid balance within plus or minus 2% body mass, which is the number that we are looking to stay within. For individuals who are less concerned with performance or performing activities at lower intensities, particularly in cooler weather, a fluid replacement plan may not be as important because fluid losses may not approach 2% total body mass loss. These conditions include activities or competition of less than 1 to 2 hours of duration, that are of lower exercise intensity and that take place in cool or temperate environments. What this basically means is when you are working out in your air-conditioned gym, typically for an hour to 2 hours with not that high exercise intensity, you do not have to have a designated hydration plan. I still personally try to consume a liter of water throughout my workout, and I try to get 500 milligrams of salt both before and after workout, but that's just me. Obviously, if you're in an extreme scenario, you may need to be more diligent with your water and electrolyte consumption. But for people who are spending time just arguing over Discord, I think you're fine. And one last thing I like to note is, yes, your soda or juice or coffee probably counts as water. Do you want to track it as water? I mean, that's up to you, but milk, soda, juice, coffee, all are 80 to 90+%-ish water. And the offset of hydration from the diuretic effects of caffeine or the sugar in the juice still leaves you with a total hydration net positive. So to restate, how much water is enough? You will know. Drink when you're thirsty. As long as your pee isn't yellow and your pee isn't crystal clear, you're in the right realm. And guys, that's the video. If you like this style of content, you can follow all of these socials and join the Discord. The links are in the description. I post exercise content twice a day, every single day. If you'd like, you can leave a comment. It really helps out the channel. And then you can like and subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell for notifications every single time I post a video. Share this to a buddy who's worried about his water intake. Maybe he'll shut up. And as always, thank you so much for watching and have a great day.